Welcome back, people. We're back from our quick break, and we're preparing to watch Myriad against SAS in the, let me double check, semifinals. We're already in the semifinals. Valdemar is still waiting for either Creator or Starflark, but Myriad and SAS, they already found each other and are just now doing the drafts. We can see that live on screen. We're gonna start it in on Dry Arabia, and yeah, if we look at the picks and bans, the bans are exactly the same. So neither player wanted to see Ottomans, Sengoku Malians, and Tughlaq Dynasty. I don't blame them. And now they're just, slowly adding the civs that they're picking. So we can see that just live. Myriad already came away with French, Macedonians, and Japanese. SAS with Chinese and Byzantines. And is just now looking for the next one. What is he going to pick? Oh, nice Templar. There you go. And yeah, what are your thoughts so far, Alexis, about the draft?
I mean, the bands, I'm totally with them. I hate Ottoman. We talked about Sengoku. Sengoku feels a bit like it's the same with Byzantine. Byzantine, totally strong. And the interesting thing is, Mongols is a counter against Biz.
Yeah.
Even though Mongols is just one of the weaker civs, but because of Byzantine's power and strength is getting or is a little bit later, is a little bit delayed. Same like a bit. It's a bit like Sengoku. Anyhow, I totally agree with the bands, especially Tughlaq, because of Fish Marshes most likely.
Yeah.
But on what they pick, I mean, Japanese is pretty strong. Golden Horde is still strong. From the beginning of the DLC, Golden Horde was a little bit like, I don't know. A lot of streamers said this feels weak and stuff like this. I don't think it's weak. Yes, over time it becomes strong, but it's this Civ was underestimated and and in the end, in the last big tournament, it gets a couple of bans on the qualifiers. So Golden Horde is kind of strong.
It is. Definitely is, yeah.
And SAS is picking Mongols. Hopefully we see him playing Mongols this night.
Hopefully, yeah.
I beats HRE. Juji? Myriad is playing Juji most likely on Holy Island. We have Byzantine maybe for George. Hill and Dale, maybe French and Mongols. So it feels like both have a good balanced draft. They have some pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
It would be hilarious to me if we would see Macedonian against Byzantines on Holy Island and we just see the drones getting at each other. I don't think that's gonna happen. Most likely not gonna happen, but you never know. I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah. What do we see on Dry Arabia? So, is it Macedonian and China, maybe? Or is it Golden Horde on Dry Arabia?
I mean, the good thing about Dry Arabia is that you can see any of these civs, so the question is, where else would you play these other civs? And Chinese, unless you want to play it on Holy Island, I think Dry Arabia might be one of the best options. I mean, the other maps we have are Gorge and Hill and Dale. So you can, I don't know, like, I don't think that China is played too much on Hill and Dale or Gorge. So yeah, maybe China on Dry Arabia. Byzantines.
So looking into SAS draft, he will take Knights Templar for Holy Island. That's a no-brainer, I guess. Also, and the same no-brainer is picking Juji for Holy Island, I guess. Those are the two best civs there in those drafts. So yeah, my guess is we will see China on Dry Arabia and Macedonian or Golden Horde by Myriad.
Yeah,
I would expect. I mean, yeah.
Would also be fun HAE against Order of the Dragon, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
No. Byzantine might be a pick on Dry Arabia because then Byzantine, I would say you can only play Byzantine on Gorge.
Yeah.
Hill and Dale. I think the berries are a little bit. It's not. So the thing about Hill and Dale is, I would say that the cistern network is too exposed, or you need to expose the cistern network too much to grab all the other berries.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I did play Byzantines on Hill and Dale before, and it just feels weird because you don't have a whole lot of resources on that hill. You have a lot of space, but you don't have a lot of resources, and then you have to branch out and then put the assistance somewhere else. And so it feels a little bit weird in that regard. Other than that, it's totally fine to play Byzantines on Hill and Dale in my opinion. But it's not the best, and so if we're thinking about what will be the best civ for a certain matchup and certain map, then yeah, I think Byzantines is not gonna be played on Hill and Dale. So yeah, it would probably be played on Gorge or Dry Arabia. Not gonna be played on Holy Island, that's for sure. So, and probably not on Frisian Marshes either. So, let's double check. Okay, yeah. We do had Chinese was correct. We're gonna see Chinese. Let's put that in here. What was the other guess about the other civs?
Golden Horde or Macedonian?
Wrong both times. It's gonna be Japanese.
Oh, okay. I mean, kinda makes. Wait, Frisian Marshes. He can go for. What is he going on Frisian? What does he take on Frisian Marshes? OTD might be Frisian Marshes.
Yeah.
Also French. Yeah, okay, I see it. But French also. Yeah, okay.
French.
Overall.
Yeah.
I see why. I see why. Because it's his first pick. So let's take Myriad's position and think about SAS draft. It's most likely we call China. So what I do want to play against China, Golden Horde? I wouldn't say so, because of the speed the Chinese build up in the beginning of the game, in the early of the game. So I see, according to this, I see why Myriad is picking Japanese, because I don't see that there's any accepted French. Any else who can compete China on this map, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Macedonians, but he might want to keep Macedonians for maybe something like Hill and Dale. Maybe. I don't know.
You really see Macedonians beating or contesting China?
I just I respect Macedonians. I just think they're very, very strong. And so yeah, I can totally see that. But at the same time, like on a high level like that, maybe not. I don't know. But like every time I check the win rate of Macedonians, it's like through the roof. And so I'm like, well, obviously this is the strongest civ ever, but you know, doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay, got your point. But what I wonder is, so Macedonian and China, because of the flexibility of China, Macedonia is not so flexible. I feel like China has very. You can play China very aggressive early on, go into a pro scout transition. You do not pro scout at all. Keep the pressure from the beginning completely through an extended feudal age. You can play pretty strong fast castle. Pro Scout with fast castle, and so on and so on. And I don't feel this flexibility with Macedonian Japanese instead of. You can go from a Dark Age pressure into a Feudal Age game. You can play Feudal Age Japanese, especially against Pro Scouts. Why not? And so there are several opportunities, I think, especially these days, because in the past you normally did not Dark Age China because of the IO, but these days it's not common that you open with an IO. Mostly you do wait with the Palace or
Yeah, Imperial Academy.
Imperial Academy with your first IO, and because of this you can Dark Age China because there's no IO where you can spam 5 spears within a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Dark Age, Myriad is dropping the Dark Age risks.
Yeah, I mean, not surprising at all to see Japanese playing the barracks in Dark Age. I mean, I know I keep repeating myself, but if you put a building that's 75 wood, you're basically begging the player to use it as soon as possible, and so not really a surprise there. SAS on his other side doing a pretty standard opener mill. Closer to the top side deer pack, so likely going to use that at first for his pro scouting avenues. And
but you know
Myriad...
what? Sorry for this interruption, but you know what?
Tell me.
Myriad is little sneaky. He replaced his barracks. I wonder if it was intended to keep track of the barracks as hard as possible, because Myriad has, until now, SAS had no clue about the Dark Age play. Now he scouted the Spearman, but before he had no clue.
Yeah, I mean, that
So,
might very well be,
surprise.
yeah. I mean,
sorry, you were talking about the openings.
Oh yeah. I mean, just you know, spitballing about what's going to happen, and whether that early aggression is going to change anything. I would guess no. So Myriad, he has 2 spearmen out here, so it's not like, it is early aggression, but it's not like, yeah, I'm gonna dent in with 6 spearmen in 3 minutes. And so he's just keeping it casual. In it. Now, let's pause for a second. Why is the game lagging? Yeah, just keeping it casual here, with 2 spearmen. SAS has all the gold that he needs for now, so he can just move all the villagers over to gold, and to food rather. And then with the IO he can, yeah, and the taxes he can easily make good with that and just push back into the game. Then SAS on the Myriad, sorry, on the other side, also getting ready for Castle Age. I'm really getting tired. For Feudal Age, of course. We're just 3 minutes in. I mean, I'm sure he's mentally getting ready for the Castle Age. that probably is the case. But I mean, it's the same way I get ready to win when I start. You know, click on the look for a game button. But yeah. Imperial Academy and Core Storehouse, nothing too crazy here about either of these landmarks. And so I would say like kind of like a very standard opener. SAS just grabbing all the gold that he needed, and then he happily retreated from gold. He doesn't necessarily need to be on there at this time. And yeah, Myriad 5 on the storehouse, so he started with 3, then he added 2 more, so he wants to have it done relatively quickly. What is he doing? What is he going to do with that, however?
With what?
Well, I mean, like, as soon as he hits Feudal Age with 5 villagers on the landmark, that's going to be relatively quickly. What is he going to do with that then? I mean, he has Yumi, for example.
Yeah.
Add more spearmen.
So, not sure, because there are still 3 on gold. I mean, because it's expectable that SAS is going for pro scouts, it makes sense to go for something feudal himself to stop this pro scout play and the castle timing. So I can see he's going for spear Yumis to contest the pro scouting because the pro scout is also delayed. Gold is pushed off by Myriad, so that might be an opportunity. But he also can go for stable. Bannerman might be an option, but I think he's not going for Bannerman because he's not sitting on the stone at all. So he has a lot of opportunities. Samurai, Honorable Geishas, but he decided to go for a stable, and it might be a spear horseman play, something like this. I mean, the stable makes sense because of the archery range. It totally makes sense. Yeah, but what I do wonder is a little bit, what does us tell the fact that Myriad replaced it Imperial Academy a little bit? He placed it first of all next to the production, or on spot of his production, and now then he replaced it in that position where it is now. What does this tell us? Does it tell us anything? Intentionally, I would expect, or I would say this is a factor. This tells us he wanna play something like a longer feudal or stronger feudal commitment, maybe. I would expect. Because you can place a mill next to for the berries, you have enough space for production, so all the tax bounty or the taxes and the IO buff or the Imperial Academy buff is in influence, or the buildings are in influence of the Imperial Academy. That was the thing what I wanted to say. Yeah, and obviously it's a double stable, so for Myriad he decided to go for horsemen.
Yeah, I mean it does make sense here. The double stable for Myriad against the archers. Spearmen are getting it on here with the villagers. Are they gonna find a kill? Should be. Yeah, there you go. Nice pick off here by Myriad. He did everything that he wanted to do with the two low health spearmen, and they're not gonna do anything anymore for him. And now he's getting kind of a scary horseman number amount, right? I mean, 5 horsemen, you can definitely do some damage.
And if he gets the second melee attack damage or melee attack upgrade, that's a nice one with the horsemen, especially against those archers which are already on the field. But also SAS has 4 horsemen on the field, and now you see what Myriad did with his Dark Age play. Not only he delayed the pro scouting, but also he forced time in according to timing. Myriad to do something. He needs to drop another mill because he has to go on the berries because sheep was running out. He's out of sheep.
Yeah, he's out of sheep, and he didn't yet get the deer in, and also because Myriad killed the deer, it's quite more difficult for SAS to, actually pro scout them. And a good raid here, finding another villager kill, moving in, moving out, just very clean.
Second kill for Myriad.
Yeah, very nicely done. So yeah, just being annoying to Chinese, not letting them cook like they would naturally want to. Eventually it doesn't, I don't know, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but like eventually it doesn't change anything like in the broader perspective, because you're still gonna get pro scouts, you're still gonna get most of the deer here. Do we see another villager kill? There we go.
Yes.
Very nicely done. Yeah, Myriad being really good right now.
Not only that, he's doing only one thing: buying time. Look at his resources.
Yeah.
And that's also an opportunity he bought for himself. Because he opened with spears, he forced SAS to go into archer, because against spears he cannot go for a stable pro scouting naked. He has to do something against those spears, because of the archer play, and he wants to go for pro scout. He does not have the resources, or does not want to invest the resources into barracks to counter the horseman play. And this is enough time he bought himself to go for a transition on deer himself, to go for the gold, to have 2 stables, and to go into castle timing right now. And all these archers on the field, 12 moving into the base, they do nothing against the mounted samurais, which will come up pretty soon. Also, he has a reinforced tower, a second tower, and the reinforced tower will have arrow slits. So his static defense is pretty in spot right now. So there's nothing SAS can do.
Yeah, not really. And I mean, Myriad also did a good job here with the few horsemen that he still had, killing a scout, you know, being furthermore annoying with that. Now, yeah, reaching Castle Age has been pointed out. Gonna put the first Yoshiro into the town center, which I really like that. And yes. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't really like. I'm personally not a big fan of putting a Yoshiro into the stable anyway. Just yeah, but he doesn't really need to have that in this situation anyway, because he has 2 stables already, so he kind of already has that function already, and so putting it in the town center is just really nice. Big raid coming in here by SAS. Let's see if he can actually do something, but probably not. I mean, there's the town center here, you don't really want to mess with that. And it's not a samurai, we have 2 and 2 more in queue, so we kind of need to have more, which he can put more in the queue. There you go, 4 in queue. And I mean, so with the Yoshiro, the thing is, I always look at what does it provide to me, and with the town center, it's a clear advantage that you have the faster production speed from the villagers, so you basically have Song Dynasty. With the stable, it's also that it buffs the production speed, so it would be 16 seconds instead of 35. So it's like, what is it, 100%, 125%, something like that. I think it's 125%. And so that's really cool, but it's I can't see it now. Anyway,
30 percentage.
Only 30%, really?
Production speed plus 30, yes.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so like it drops from like 35 to 16, so obviously you get them a lot quicker, but you might as well just drop another stable and you have achieved the same thing. And then I'd rather have it on the forge, where I know that I get a 45 gold per minute, so that's half a relic, just for free. And so I prefer that over putting it on the stable, but at the same time I also don't maximize my play, and I don't play like a clean timing where having the Yoshiro in the stable is crucial, because you need to hit a certain timing. So it does make sense to put it there. I'm just not a big fan of it. That's all, but that's mostly a personal preference. Yumi getting added to the mix here as well, which makes sense given the amount of spearmen here. And SAS really trying to... I mean, I don't know. At one point he's macroing towards castle, but at the same time he is having a huge army here. And yeah, it almost looks like, if I wouldn't know better, I would say it looks like he wants to end it in feudal, but there you go. Imperial Palace being added, as well as two more stables. Alright.
That's so disgusting with these Chinese players or plays. Like 61 military on the field, minute 14, still food under mill and hitting castle.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hearing is we should nerf pro scouting.
No, we should nerf the IO.
Yeah, that too, obviously. But
yeah. Once I had a call. I said, well, I understand the IOs, but why not? It's once you decide this IO will boost eco buildings, then it's just bounded to eco buildings. It's not flexible to now I wanna boost my military, next whatsoever. However, let's not discuss this. The fact is, we have 11 mounted samurais, 11 archers, Yumis, 25 military versus 62 military on the field. And we have some mounted samurais now in the base of SAS, and they might get some hit there and some damage there. Yes, no. Unfortunately not, but because of, and this was I was wondering about, I'm pretty sure, I'm kind of sure about. I mean, yes, sure, I said 16 military on the field, some food on the mill, but the food is running out. And Myriad, no, SAS is on the external resources like the berries in the north. Night, unfortunately, the Mount Summary is kind of idle there, but SAS will have, or will get some food issues maybe. Even though he went into castle, I don't think he can sustain the stable production, the night production. But the question is, can Myriad prevent these push into his base, which might come in pretty soon with only half the military he has, according to SAS.
I mean, main
these
issue,
months, yeah.
I think his main issue will be if he cannot access the woodline anymore, because all the other woodlines that are close by are forward facing, of course, and so he would have to go somewhere completely else to figure out how to get wood, which that would of course halt his Yumi production, which also basically stops his ability to deal with his army, because 21 spearmen is quite an issue, and even with mounted samurai you cannot just run into that like this. Speaking of running into the spearmen, are not doing anything right now, so they're letting the samurai actually do whatever they want to do. A little bit of a miss macro here by SAS, but now he's moving on top. He has all the upgrades that he needs to, and I don't think that even with the kiting that Myriad can really deal with that.
I wonder how he lost his bannerman. Did this bannerman die? Anyhow. Fight looks good for Myriad though, because SAS was way ahead in military counts. Now it's or military numbers. Now it's only 8 military numbers ahead. That's not that much, and I think destruction value or mounted summary numbers are still healthy. So good fight here for Myriad. Brought himself in a very, very good situation, but I know, no, but just point. And still in a good food situation, because he does not need any transition at all or something like this. But also says he's on the boar and the berries are in the east of his map and the north of his map. So he is he's in a good spot himself.
Yeah, and I think the main issue, if we're looking at the front line, he only has spearmen, horsemen. If he had lancers instead of the horsemen, I think the fight would have been completely different, and I really expected Myriad to lose big on this fight, but it actually worked out quite well. Now the villagers are also actually in trouble, so SAS now is in the same position as Myriad was before, with the woodline being really exposed right now. Getting some nice villager kills here as well, so 10 villager kills so far, there's more following up. This is not looking good for SAS all of a sudden, just because he doesn't have the heavy armored units that he would have needed as a frontline.
And GG gets cold after all the echo damage, not only losing the military, and you mentioned the thing with the woodline. The big difference is Myriad managed to not lose any villager at all. Meanwhile, SAS lost in the woodline 6 more villagers. And not only that, he did not reach a song, so no faster literature production. Also, Myriad had the first Yoshiro in his TC, so echo damage, and on top, better production. Echo production means better eco, way better eco. And we all know Japanese food income is kind of weird because of the cooker storehouse. Cooker storehouse.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Welcome, Tam. Thanks for the raid. I hope you had a good time. I believe you were playing a load of Legends, if I'm not correct. Mistaken, I mean. But thanks for stopping by here and our lovely stream. Yeah, so many Germans here. Yeah, Jiggly, Hilfe, Hilfe. I know. That's how it is. That's what you get. Rising Empire is slowly but surely being taken over by the Germans. Yeah. Well, let's see. So yeah, Myriad winning this one with the Japanese. Let's take a quick look at what else what they're going to play next. It's gonna be Gorge next, so that's cool. Ooh, all right, cool.
So Byzantine.
Uh-huh.
And wait, Holy Island, Gorge, Hill and Dale, Frisian Marshes. Byzantine Macedonian or Byzantine Golden Horde?
Wow, you're good. It's gonna be Golden Horde against Byzantines. So,
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna invite you, and then I think we can just jump right back into the next one. And off, on and on we go.
Yes,
there was someone
behind me.
There was.
There was someone behind me. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. Alright. So you're in my group. Wonderful. Myriad is in game. Let's hit the observe button. Beastie was behind him. Oh gosh.
What the fuck?
Oh man.
Oh.
No, I think Beastie's doing alright. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. Lore unlocked, yeah, sure. Alrighty, well, so second game of this best of 5. Myriad is up 1-0, and they're gonna have about 5 more seconds for the observer delay, so we can just jump right into it. And there we go. We're gonna switch the players here and pause just for a second. And there we have it. Alright, so second game of this best of 5 series. Myriad playing the Golden Horde in his lovely Mongol tent. And his opponent, SAS, playing the Byzantines. No, this is the semi-final, so we're getting there, but it's still gonna be a while. It feels like there have been longer series today. Like there was some like 90-minute series where, I mean, it's a best of 5, so it's quite understandable that it's not done in 20 minutes, but yeah. It's the semifinals, best of 5. Myriad up 1-0, and yeah, SAS is now trying to make it work. He is opening with just 2 villagers on stone. A build that I personally much prefer, but yeah, that's just me. Alright. Scouting pattern. SAS just went all the way over, tried to find some resources from the Golden Horde, and is now moving back again. And SAS kind of went on the right side and found some sheep already, which means that SAS is kind of getting the short end of the stick, unfortunately.
Thinking about strategies or plays, I think Golden Horde can be quite a good pick against Byzantine. Or the question is, do you go for the longbow contract with Byzantine against Golden Horde? I do wonder because Golden Horde has the Turguten and Turguts. So what do you go for if you have Turguts? You have to go for Limitanize. But because of, I mean, sure, it's they cost double the amount, but the archer production, Golden Horde can get a archer mess on the field that's kind of disgusting sometimes facing it. So Turguts together with archers might be a good play here against Byzantine if you play feudal. Adding some horsemen. What do you want to go as a Byzantine against that?
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, you could say that Golden Horde can be played a little bit like the Mongols. You just go Kashik Archer, and here you kind of do the same, but in addition to the Kashik, you also have the Torgut, which help the Khan stay alive a little bit better. Their damage is really bad, but they tank quite a lot, and so that's their that's their function, that's their purpose. And so if you go Kashik, you will not have the mass that you would need to fight against Golden Horde. So I think the Kashik contract, as much as I love it, would not be the right choice. So yeah, I think Longbow, Limitanay, and then adding Horsemen, I think would probably be the play. Yeah, Myriad already going on the boar, very nicely done here, tanking most of the damage with the Khan. And then we'll just feast on that one. And yeah, he's going for Khan and Torguts, so that's pretty much going to be his playstyle, getting them cheaper. So he will just spam Torguts and yeah, the Khan obviously as well. So they're really tanky, insanely tanky, and so you need to have Spearmen against them, otherwise I don't think you can reasonably take them down. SAS on the other side is opening with the Grand Winery, keeping it safe, relatively close to the town center, and also with the tower, just to make sure that he does have that.
I mean, the tower makes sense, but with the Torguts again, because not only they are tanky overall, but also they have a good range defense. The tower, I mean, you need it anyway because of garrison plays and stuff like this. But yeah, as I said, I wonder what you go for as a Byzantine. What contract do you wanna choose? Khan is on the field. Torguts, the first one, is also in queue. We do not see any production so far by Myriad, but we have a couple villages on wood, so there will be production dropped quite soon, I hope so. Or maybe he's getting the wood for some towers. I mean, he used it definitely for a second Uwu. That was his first choice, but yeah, we see the archery range is coming, or gets dropped next to the gold. Maybe he wanna place their tower as well in front of the gold, between the berries and the gold, and to use these
The edicts.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's most likely the case, right? I mean, that is quite nice, and I think that's also one of the reasons. It's basically what the Byzantines have. So, right? I mean, with the conscriptio, that's pretty much the same thing. Other than that, obviously, the higher the system level is, the better it is. Then we do have the mercenary house, so I'm really curious to see what mercs we're gonna see here. The markets, unfortunately, I mean, Zipahi would be really cool at Avalitreis, but yeah, it's just too far away. I don't think it's really worth it to go for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It is gonna be the Eastern contract, a Silk Road one. So we do have the Javelin Thrower, Camel Rider, and Grenadiers. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's either that. It's either that or the longbows.
And it kind of makes sense to me because of the archer mass. So that was what I kind of expected, honestly. So what I would take in the first moment, even though I never played this matchup, but it just makes sense because of the potential archer mass, and you need to protect. You need your spears to protect your eco. You don't wanna get sniped, stuff like this. But then there are the Troggods. Also, you need to protect yourself against this, and spears get countered by archers, so it makes sense you take something that counter the archers.
Right. Yeah.
But military numbers is pretty unhealthy for SAS here in this game right now.
I would say so. It is pretty unhealthy. I mean, we do have a couple more units in queue now, and with the badge of the Javelin Throwers, you can definitely control the archers. But yeah, I mean, to your point, if you're like, well, I go Spearman Archer, Spearman Longbow, and then Horseman, the Torguts and the Kashik especially, they will crap on you. And so that's not really a good option. With the Javelin Throwers, yes, of course, you're pretty immobile because you just have a full-on infantry comp. But if you're expecting, and as Byzantines you kind of should, that you will be defending the first 10 minutes of the game at least, then it's not as bad to have an immobile army, because your opponent actually is forced to make something work. Because your eco is going to get better and better with the cisterns, and the Golden Horde doesn't have that. And so, yeah, their eco, at least for the time being, is a little bit weaker than the Byzantines is.
And SAS kind of prepared himself for the fact that the situation he cannot go out on the map to get some other berry patches other than those on next to the Great Winery. He already dropped 5, 6, 7 farms to keep his oil income ongoing, so, and that might be a reason why he's a little bit more delayed in military than he was before, because those were pretty fast, pretty early farms.
That's true, yeah. That's quite an investment, of course, as well. Nice picking off the scout here. I just wish the tower would be one tile to the right, because this is blocking a prime space, prime real estate for the olive groves. But I mean, I don't know. Like, if it comes to placements of the Grand Winery, don't listen to me. I will never, like almost never at least, place it within 4 tiles of the town center, because I'm like, I'm gonna use all the space that I can get. I'm gonna use all, like, 2 rows completely with, and then I lose the game and I wonder why. You know, that's how it usually goes. So don't listen to my greedy placement ideas. Meanwhile,
a little bit like a city builder.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's the same with Aachen Chapel and things like that. It's like, I wanna use it as much as possible, and I mean, at the same time, now you have the space. Myriad is helping him out there, I guess. No, Lycos, I'm actually diamond, trust me. But I haven't touched the Byzantines for a while, so I don't know.
And here we saw something why Torgods, or why in this combination is kind of strong. These Torgods Kashik play, or Torgod horsemen, or whatsoever. They have 4 range defense, or 3 at in the beginning. Now +1 range defense is up. And because of the range defense, they easily can dive each tower you have. And a nice play here by Myriad, next to the fact that he killed the tower and already killed 1 echo unit. He cleaned up all the javelin throwers, and now is back in the base, and there are 4 targets in this army together with the Khan, so he can dive the TC if he wants to.
Yeah, he definitely can.
But he decided not to do. Might be the better choice.
Yeah, I mean, like, he doesn't need for now. Like, he did a lot of damage, he killed a lot of army, he's ahead right now. Like, his army value is almost double. He doesn't need to risk it right now. And we've seen a couple times games that were lost because one player was overextending, which, of course, sometimes can happen, but it shouldn't really happen too often, I guess. Another cool thing about the Torgut is that with Golden Hordes, you don't really need to be super protective of the Khan. Unlike with the Mongols, where the Khan is, especially early on, very vulnerable, very low health. Here it is not the case. The Batu Khan has a lot of health, and as long as there's Torguts, they will soak up the damage. And so the Khan actually will not die, and will always be able to buff his army. And so yeah, a dive like that really works quite well. So yeah, we see, oh my goodness, the army value just dropped so heavily. And now villagers on the run need to find some kind of cover, but woodline is idle, food is idle, gold is idle. Oh my goodness, everything's idled out right now. There's 3 villagers on food right now, down to 1. Where is it? Where's this one? There it is. There's 1 villager going down. Nothing on anything. Oh my goodness. Myriad, have some mercy. Oh wow. Yeah, just hunting down the remaining villagers of SAS. I do not think this game is going to go any longer for long. Kashyyyk now on the villagers as well, and there you go. GG getting called. Myriad, the man, the myth, and the legend, finishing this game in a spectacular manner.
30-minute game, and yeah, so honestly, I don't know what to think about Golden Horde.
Well, ban them.
I really don't know.
Just ban them.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. Just ban those suckers. I don't care. Don't let them play. Yeah, I mean, it was well played, and I don't know. Like,
I mean, the first pick he did there, nice micro, pulling out the javelins out of TC range, fighting the spears with the archer, and then going on top on the javelin throwers with Kashyyks and Torguts he had there, and the south rest of the Byzantine base. And those small fights and those small mistakes, like, I'm not sure if it was a real mistake, but the fact that SAS extended there a little bit too much instead of defending his base, went out of TC range and stuff like this, makes himself vulnerable to get a cleanup with by Myriad, and those small things can change a game dramatically. Dramatically.
Yeah, absolutely. And but I don't know, like, the one weakness, like, Byzantines is really a very, very strong civ. The one weakness they have is in early game, when they need to set up stuff, and when they focus on, like, their city builder, you know, their budget city builder, and just trying to get into the game. And Golden Horde doesn't have that, and so over time their eco would be a little bit slower and weaker, but the early game tempo is really crazy good. And so, yeah, just really nicely done. I was scared for a second because I couldn't observe Myriad's game when I clicked on him in my friends list, but I do see it in the list here, so in the observe tab. So I'm just gonna click on that and hope for the best, and hope that, yeah, the game doesn't jinx me and it's actually observable. You're in my group, right?
Yes. Yeah. And this is also predicted matchups. Knights Templar versus Chuji. I'm not sure if Myriad is doing himself a favor here, because Knights Templar, I don't remember. Oh, well, was it before or after the change of Knights Templar? Because the dogs got changed with the last patch, and definitely before. I'm not sure if it's still the same after the change. Knights Templar destroyed Juji on this map because of the wood economy, wood echo. And yeah, let's see what Myriad is cooking here, and especially, does he have a disgusting meditation garden or just a normal one?
Just a disgusting normal one. Yeah, let's hop in and find out, I guess. And I mean, I would imagine that it doesn't really matter. Like even with the harbor, like the docks being changed to a harbor and being more expensive, and also a little bit more health and stuff like that. I still think that Knights Templar still is very, very strong on water, and I've seen many games now where KT still won water, even though like they have to invest more. Yes, that's true, but it doesn't really hinder them too much, and so I'm really looking forward to this matchup. This is 2-0 for now for Myriad, so this is match point. If you can win this game, against a strong Civ, but at the same time, Knights Templar is also very Juicy's Legacy also very, very strong on water, of course. That would be it, and he would move on to the finals, where, do we already have an opponent? Yeah, where he would meet either Valdi or Creator, who was able to win against Starflark with a 3-2, so very, very close fought series. And yeah, let's see how this is gonna work out. We do have a Dark Age Barracks from Knights Templar already, harassing the dock here. Need to be careful with all the sheep here, by the way, because the villager can easily kill the sheep if they want to.
Yeah, but villager is withdrawing because Myriad scouted the barracks and thought, oh well, let's bring him into safetyness, and yeah, 3 spears. A third one is in production, and still 3 villagers on wood. Does he rally on wood or on food with TC? Quite not sure.
On food right now. So Myriad is rallying on food, and
I was wondering about SAS.
Oh, sorry. SAS is on wood.
Yeah.
SAS is on wood. Rallying on wood, yeah.
So only one ship here, and yeah, Dark Age reaction by Myriad, and this is why we said before, you can these days you can Dark Age China with the Dark Age barracks, because normally they do not open with the IO what they did in the past, but Chuji already has an IO in the beginning, and because of the supervision, he can pump a lot of spears, and not only he can produce them way faster, but also the reinforcement way is way shorter for Myriad than it is for Sassy. So Sass is looks like he stopped producing spears. He stopped at 5, and already 3 are on the field by Myriad. Myriad is now moving into the reinforcement rate, so he wants to intercept 1 or 2 spears. Maybe not killing them, but damaging them is also helpful. It's not about killing them, but damaging them, that SAS has to rethink about a fight he wants to take or not. Now he's pulling the 3 spears with his 1 damaged spears into the group of the other spears, but we have already 5 on the field. 6 is coming in by SAS, but here is what we talked about earlier, the reinforcement way. SAS has a way shorter one, and the Dark Age play did not pay off, at least right now or at that point, because the dock is still alive and military count is 7-7.
Yeah, I mean, both players having 6 spearmen and adding 1 more in queue as we speak. But SAS already moving into the fuselage with a nice Hospitaller, and so that's gonna be super annoying to deal with for Myriad. Because of the healing of the men-at-arms that SAS will get access to. Plus, I mean, the faster age up also means that he will get the hardened upgrade, and then his spearmen will definitely hit a little bit different than they are doing right now. Now, very good micro here, of course, by these players, making sure that the low health spearmen are protected, moving away, keeping all of them alive. But the difference is one of them will have access to a healer very soon, the other one doesn't. Oh my goodness, look at that, all so low health. Is he really sacrificing them? I'm not sure why he's not just running away, but...
the thing here is, in those situations, even if you run away, the spears also have a charge, so he will get damaged.
But that's why you use like the at least that's why I would use like the full health one to like brace the charge, and the low health ones to move away.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
I mean, pretty sure he was thinking about what you mentioned with the healing, that he tried to get a hit on the spears with throwing, get one hit on the spears with throwing, and the intention here was pretty sure to make as much damage as possible during the kiting wave, and hopefully with 1 HP saving at least more spears than the other one can save and heal them up. But this did not pay off like he intended to do it. Meanwhile, the disgusting meditation guarding gets dropped. I mean, big gold, small gold, full berry patch, and a bit of wood. That's
yeah. I mean,
pretty sure.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue, please.
Pretty sure it could be more disgusting, but it's still a disgusting.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you add a stone outcropping somewhere in the back, then it gets even more disgusting. But this is pretty peak disgusting. Let's check in a minute what that produces. Just gonna give it a control group so I can check quickly for that one. And yeah, in the meantime, Myriad is being pushed off of gold, which is not the worst for Juicy's legacy and Chinese, since they still have the taxes. But yeah, we're now talking about water fights, and water fights without gold is kind of rough. You only have access to the galley then, and cannot produce the hulks or the springboard ships, and so that's just gonna be an issue.
I mean, he's not fully pushed off gold. He still have 50 per minute because of the meditation garden next to the IO. Just saying.
Yeah, that is true. 50 gold and then yeah, 11. Okay. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice income for sure.
But what's way more interesting than the fact that he gets pushed off gold, the fact is that there are some man-at-arms, a spear and an archer, sitting next to the wood line of Myriad, and yeah, Zugzug's coming in, but the dangers, well, unlucky. SAS is diving the TC, and we know Chinese TC are different. They do a bit more damage than normal TCs, and so because of this, SAS lost 3 units there in the back. Without any need, but I think that's because of multitasking, because meanwhile he was fighting there, and all these units were pulled under TC. On water, little clash happened. Just some demo ships destroyed some military ships by Myriad, and on water it does not look like Myriad is in a pretty good spot at all looking on military ships. 2 are heading into the direction of Myriad's docks, and yeah, they are just 0. Now 1 more popped off a ship, and because of this, SAS decided to withdraw with his military ships. Or did he? Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of did, yeah.
Yeah, the spring ship idled quite for a second, the Hulk. So I was wondering because of this.
Ooh, demo ships moving in, but yeah, being pulled back again. Myriad moving out with some Shugunu as well, so that, well, it's not gonna be enough here to stop the tower.
Interesting. SAS decided not to change the Pilger position from the middle sacred side to the bottom one. I mean, I see why, because this water situation or this water spot was contested, but also on land they are sitting 5 Zug-Zugs now, and it's also contested. So Myriad stabilized himself.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I mean, if we're looking at the income per minute, it is roughly the same. So it's kind of hard to to figure out who actually has the advantage right now. I mean, the meditation gardens, like, I have to come back to that. Pretty crazy, and so I think as long as Myriad can hold that, and as long as he can prevent the pilgrims from reaching their destination, I think he will be in an okay spot. SAS now did change the pilgrims, so they are now moving over to the sacred site in the middle of the island, and it's so funny for anybody who hasn't seen that before. They just stop for a second and then they move into a worker ship, and then they just yeah, sail over there. And also hilariously, like, I think it's so funny that they actually count as a trade caravan, but
Yes.
that the number doesn't go down anymore. So it will just tick up and up and up for any pilgrim that crosses over here. So the pilgrim is gone now, and it's still one. So that's really funny to me. But I mean, I don't know. I just live for UI glitches, I guess.
It's disgusting that pilgrims also wait a minute. Oh, it's because of the age up, right? I was wondering why does the villager and the pilgrims have more health. Then I realized, the TC, it's not.
Yeah.
He did not click on textiles, but it's because of the age up, sure.
Yeah, it's because of the age up. But that also, by the way, means that if you, for example, play Byzantines and you research the Expilatores, so the technology that the horsemen have, that they do 2 more damage to workers, that counts for IO and for pilgrims, because they are also classified as workers. And so Byzantines, if you want to play aggressive against Chinese or Jussis Legacy, horsemen with Expilatores is not the worst thing that you can do.
I see.
Yeah, things, the more you know, the better.
Yes, absolutely. So now multitasking at this best, because SAS is pushing on water, fighting on water, and also pushing on land. Is diving the TC because he gets more attention on the water fight, and I'm not sure if this is the right choice here, because what he's losing on land is pretty expensive, even though he's winning water. It looks like, is he winning water? It's kind of even on water, I would say. It's not like a fully decision maker fight on water, because he's fighting in the dock range. So healing for the ships is available for a Myriad in a defender's advantage position. Yeah, so it's a pretty active game. It's a pretty active game, forward, backward on boss, on land and water, and that's why Holy Island is so exciting and pretty kind of exhausting, because on this level, you have to be everywhere.
Yeah, you definitely do. And yeah, SAS was winning the water just a little bit. But yeah, he threw away his land army, because fighting under the Chinese TC is not really a whole lot of fun. And I mean, Lycos, to your point, I did use it in the game already, and I never said it's not a niche nerd stat. It is quite interesting to know that. I'm not sure if you would like change your whole strat just because of that one fact. You might still play Byzantines the same way as against Jesus Legacy. It's just really interesting to know that if I see an IO, I actually do focus it with the Horseman because I know that I'll do bonus damage, and so it's really nice. But and the same for Pilgrims, for example. If you want to hunt down Pilgrims with Horsemen, Expilatores is the way to go. So that's really nice as well. Speaking about nice things, I think SAS just won water. I mean, there's still a handful of ships, but they're pretty low health. At the same time, land is going in favor for Myriad. He added some palace guards as well, or yeah, early palace guards, of course, and is just trying to get the gold under control. I haven't actually tested it against Yatai. I need to test that. I think it does work, but I'm not sure if they're classified as a worker. I don't think so, and then it will not work. I would need to test that. I'll come back to you about that one. Probably not today, but I'll test that for sure.
For a moment, water looks like it was decided, but it's not. Myriad is still on water and it still has a good fishing ship echo on water, and still military on water. Also some demo ships. God damn it. And on land there is a cleanup for military Myriad's military was cleaned up. Now there are mostly archers on the field, some man-at-arms, and the horseman about to die by SAS. So, as I said, back and forwards for both of these players, and this shows up how close in skill they are, I would say.
Oh yeah, I mean, you would definitely expect, especially on a map like Holy Island, you would expect a back and forth and not a clean-cut game. Especially, like, the longer we are in a tournament, the closer the people usually are. And so I would guess that this is exactly how you would imagine the game going, being a very close back and forth.
Water.
Yeah, just going back on water. Oh my goodness, what's happening? Ah! A lot of explosions triggering my wartime PTSD here. Luckily, luckily SAS is making it out alive, and Myriad also not losing everything in this endeavor. So land definitely decided for Myriad. There's nothing on land anymore, but SAS moving into the... Was it the Angevin Empire? I didn't pay attention to it.
It's the one with the heavy spears.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Because of course it is, because what else would you play? What else would you play against anything? Just play the heavy spearman with a big middle finger to everything else.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda. Mount Lu Academy being rushed up with 22 villagers.
Oh. The Shaolin one.
Oh, never mind. It's gonna be the Shaolin Monastery.
They should perform quite nice against the heavy spearmen, right?
They should. Oh yeah, they absolutely should perform quite nicely. I mean, you can just go crossbows as well, I guess. That also would be an option. Also against the Templar product, not Slaughter Cavalry. We're not there yet. So technically, you could just go mass crossbows and then add a few palace guards as the front line. I guess that would also work. We have some movement on water, friends. Let's see what is happening there. Myriad is sitting on 4 docks by now, which is matching the 4 harbors that SAS has. SAS has. I have to say that 5 times in a row quickly. And some more attack on the land, but that's not really happening too much here. And meanwhile, we have some low health war junks, not anymore, and a demo ship trying to sneak through the middle. Looks like it's again a coin flip here. SAS winning on water, but Myriad winning on land. There's more demo ships flanking, trying to find a good connection here. Are they gonna find it? No, they're hunting them down, and there is the connection. That is a very unhealthy amount of damage for Myriad's vessels. And yeah.
Pretty big impact here for Myriad, but for SAS on water, but he has to be a bit careful, and he was careful enough because sitting too close on the dock can happen or can end up in a disaster, kind of, because demo comes out and reaction time might be not enough to save your military ships, especially when they are stacked. But there was a reaction in time. Meanwhile, on land, the counter push is there, and we do have Fuel still on the field fighting in front of the base of SAS. And what's about the relic numbers? Relic numbers looking healthy, are looking 1-0 for SAS. So even though we have the Geraldine Monastery, there is not any relic collected by Myriad so far. I mean, he is struggling a lot, especially on water, and yeah, I would say water is now decided, period.
Yeah, I would imagine that water is pretty much a done deal. I'm not sure if he will add more Jugoonu, so that's why he might want to stay in feudal for the time being. Crossbows are more important right now, but he doesn't have the front line, and so he's gonna lose everything. Well, will he though? I mean, he does have a healthy number still. But yeah, I mean, if history has shown us anything, if one player controls all of the water here and the other one doesn't, it's gonna be really, really rough. We've seen that the other time with House of Lancaster having the whole waterfront. So
it's not only that Myriad does not have wheelbarrow, but SAS has like 4 Templar brothers on the field, so SAS is pretty mobile. Meanwhile, Myriad has only infantry and slow workers who cannot run away from any night raids. Lost the water control, so it's not only behind in echo, but also losing the important echo on land. So yeah, not good for him. Not good for him.
No, not at all. I mean, what can Myriad do? He is going on stone now, so I would imagine he will want to drop a keep at some point. He does need to desperately get some semblance of a farm transition, but he doesn't have the resources for that right now, and he still needs to just mass produce units non-stop in order to keep up with SAS, who by now has 3,500 resource income per minute, and SAS is right now, like, if you add stone, you're like 1,500, but that's like just half of what SAS has. Not to mention that SAS with 25 fishing boats in total has a lot more equal units. That pilgrim is gonna make it out alive. Why is the... Okay, so he was half health, and then he switched, he transitioned, transformed, whatever, into a ship, and then he's full health again. That doesn't seem logical. Let's see if that changes. Let's see if that changes when he turns back. Oh yeah, it's full health. Of course it is. Why not?
Yes.
Of course he is full health again. He's just magically healing up on the water, I guess. Thoughts and prayers or whatever. Oh man.
Yeah, keep is getting dropped. Interesting, the sacred site gets not decapped by Myriad, even though he's sitting next to the sacred site, but the keep is prepared there, and interesting. Now he's decapping. He's decapping the or he's building the, yeah, okay. Anyhow, so this is his let's say most important food income right now. or his anger or his base whatsoever, he is on both boss. So not the worst food income, definitely not the worst one, but also limited food income in case in the way that this will run out anytime. Meanwhile, SAS has some food income resources where which just regain their the amount of food over time again and again and again. So the difference is, ooh, archery ship is hitting on the stone. Oh, this hurts.
Ouch, this hurts quite a lot.
Only 2 villager, only 2, but 2 is also enough. Too much.
I mean, the good thing is, I mean, one thing, like light at the end of the tunnel here for Myriad is that this keep kind of inadvertently defends both sacred sites. Because the pilgrims will actually move kind of like close to the TC and then will get killed by it. So this is a very high value keep. It just doesn't solve the resource issue that Myriad has overall. And SAS is getting all of the units. Like, he's like, I paid for all of these units, like I paid for the whole game, I'm gonna use the whole game. And so, yeah, getting all the units that he can possibly get, I imagine.
This looks like yeah, this is, I mean, SAS's pop cap.
Yeah.
SAS's pop cap sieging down the keep, and not only sieging it down, just says, well, I don't give a shit. I push with my army under the keep and talk the keep down if when the military is cleaned up by Myriad, and Myriad does have, yeah, Myriad is about, Myriad is dying. The healing is there next to the sacred side, and this is a totally, this is a map, or this is a game which shows how strong Knights Templar still is on water maps.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was not only that, of course, and it could have gone either way. But yeah, Knights Templar definitely no slacker on water at all. Archer still firing away on the town on the keep instead of going there. Now he's moving the units over to actually get to the targets that are more valuable. But yeah, keep desperately trying to keep that up and repair it, but it's not gonna be enough. Now dropping a fortress. The first one in this game, I might add, after 27 minutes. And yeah, Myriad is dying. I mean, he has been dying for the last 10 minutes, but now he definitely is dying, and not anymore. He taps out, meaning the SAS winning this one, making it 2-1.
Do we have a comeback by SAS?
Let's go comeback. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Myriad drops the ball on the finishing line. But yeah, just the amount of resources. Like, let's look at resources gathered. Yeah, that's really crazy. Like, basically starting in minute like 12 or so, and then slowly getting ahead. SAS was winning in eco, and usually, especially on high levels like that, if you have more eco, you also have more army, and then you win the game. Doesn't always happen on lower levels, of course, but on higher levels, you kinda can expect that they don't have massive blunders, and yeah, will win the game then. Alrighty, so let's see what else they have in store for us.
So Hillendale and Fish Marshes is still ready to go. Interesting is that SAS decided to pick, as a loser, you're gonna pick the next map. Both home maps Myriad picked in the draft, and now we go on SAS picked draft. I mean, home map. It's not like we have a map pool of like 20 different maps, and you have your own home map. But it's always interesting in those kinds of drafts, in those series, when the loser is picking the map which the opponent picks in the draft. And also what's interesting fact here is that SAS already played his top 3 civs. Meanwhile, Myriad played only his top 1 or top 1 of his top 3 civs. If you rank the civs from first to last pick in a ranking, and in a way you can do it because I mean there's a you pick China at first, second Byzantine, Knights Templar third, though that tells us or this shows somehow how you rate those civs according to Mongols, HRE, or Ayubids.
Yeah.
What is the next civ we do see?
So, just gonna add
And the next map.
Frisian Marshes, of course, because why not? But we're gonna have some interesting civs on that. It's not the usual, not the standard.
So Macedonian?
Yeah.
I mean, HRE is not that big of a surprise on this map. We do HRE quite often, and I honestly, looking on SAS draft, yeah, it's kind of most likely HRE or Ayubids, but we do see all these routes of civs on this map, so I felt like a bit, but Macedonian is a big surprise to me.
Yeah, Macedonians on Frisian Marshes is interesting to say the least. But I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. I'm really interested to see how they're gonna play it. But what else would I mean? He could have played French instead. That definitely would have worked just fine. But maybe he's afraid a little bit of the HRE potential of being aggressive in Dark Age. Not sure. By the way, the game crashed for them after a couple minutes, so they just have to restart, and so that's why we still have to wait a little bit. They should set it up fairly soon, though.
You could play OOTD on this map.
Oh yeah, OOTD would be another option. Does he want to keep that for another game, though? I mean, if he doesn't win this one and it's 2-2, he needs to have one civ where he can win for sure. And I'm not sure if OOTD would be that civ. Especially because that would be on Hill and Dale.
Yeah, okay. Looking that way, it totally makes sense, picking Macedonian on this map.
Because Hill and Dale then would probably be French versus Mongol or French versus Ayubids. So
yeah. Well, French versus Ayubids is a heavy one, but French versus Mongols is, let's say, kind of classical one on Hill and Dale. It's a matchup we saw quite often also in other tournaments or in S-tier tournaments. So that's not a untypical one, but
no, it's not.
Ayubids French in the past we saw those matchups, and mostly French was dying heavily to Ayubids because the strengths of knights are not anymore strengths fighting against camels.
That's true. Yeah, and that's why you would probably see Ayubids then, because SAS would know, okay, he wants to play French now. If I play Mongols, it's not a bad matchup for Mongols, but I'm still kind of playing into his game style and his game plan. But if I go Ayubids instead, I either force him to go out of the dragon, or he plays French still, and then he's gonna have a hard time. So it can work either way.
Yeah, on the other hand, OOTD on Hill and Dale is kinda nice because you have a deer pack next to your TC immediately from the beginning. You don't have to scout it, you don't need a tower to protect it, stuff like this. And one of the biggest weakness, or why OOTD was in the past last year, 1.5 years ago, when Pro Scout was the big meta, OTD became pretty big because of they did not have any food issues. They had the deers, Pro Scouts, and then they could do their farm transition, stuff like this. And so because of the deer pack next to the TC, maybe OTD could be a thing. Also, you have a safe woodline, stuff like this. But don't talk about the next game when we have a game right now tuning into it on Frisian Marshals with Macedonian against HRE in Macedonian. It's kind of a untypical, let's not to say weird pick on this map, because I cannot remember I saw this Civ couple times or pretty often on this map. Let's see what Myriad is cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not used to seeing Macedonians on Frisian Marshes. But then again, I mean, we're kind of late in the series, and I'm not sure if Myriad has, you know, planned that far ahead. And at the same time, it is Myriad. We can expect great things from him, so maybe there is some good plan there. I'm not sure. I mean, right now it does look like that plan does not involve water, but instead some feudal aggression. And Macedonians can be really oppressive in feudal age even. They have some good options there, with ranking guards, with their bowmaster, with the archers. You know, if you go Hippodrome, which you usually I would expect him to go Hippodrome. Then you have the champion horseman, the champion scout even, which is also pretty strong. Early Ridari even. So there's a couple options that Macedonians can put pressure on SAS here. Let's see what SAS is going to do. So besides water, he's opening with the barracks. So just looking for some early aggression. The scout is already seeing the gold, 2 villagers in gold, so that pretty much indicates, okay, he's not going on water, he is going straight feudal. And that definitely is something where you can hurt the Macedonians as well, because with their gold income you also take away their silver income, which means they don't get any military upgrades, which means they are militarily speaking weaker. So we'll see. Myriad pulling off the gold immediately, so basically just what he needed for the age up, and is now moving pretty much on wood. So yeah, I would expect a heavy archer play from him. Or maybe going on water now, but yeah, not sure.
And also a nice fact or interesting fact is SAS. Oh, now he proved me wrong. I was intended to say SAS built only one spear to push off Myriad from gold, but it's totally wrong because he queued up another one and another one. So I was totally wrong.
And another one. Yeah, I mean, one spearman would have been enough, but he might, I don't know, maybe he wants to burn down the mining camp. Plus, I mean, obviously the thing is, he will need the spearman eventually anyway, because we're gonna see mass horsemen coming from Myriad, and so you can build one spearman now, you can build more. It's all the same, kind of. And in the meantime, you can just, you know,
it's more about it's more about he needs to go for more spears, because 2 horsemen Michael pretty well will kill at least, because they are Dark Age spears, 1 Dark Age spear, so it's like, one is like no one.
Yeah, one is definitely not enough. Myriad also, by the way, did go on water, so he did at least put the first dock to use. He pulled the villager again, so I don't think he wants to go for a mass expansion here, for the time being. Reach Fuel Age has 1 horseman in queue already, but yeah, not gonna be enough for, or not in time to save the mining camp, but that's not the worst, that's not the end of the world. And yeah, dock has been scouted, so the spearmen just move over to that dock instead. And we'll see if the horsemen can do something against that, or if we'll just see some aggression on the dock on the pond here instead. Also, there's the one villager here being pretty exposed as well.
Yeah, I would expect, and the direction of the movement was proving me, and then he turned the direction. I would expect. I expected he is going for the villager kill, but the horseman is moving on the gold. I mean, it also makes sense to push off gold the villagers and scout the villager in the top, and then oh no, now he's moving the horseman to the top where the solo villager is moving. I don't wonder why he did not try to poke the gold for a bit, because the villager is dead anyway. Now there's a spear reinforcing the gold, and no poking on gold is possible at all. Do we see any archers on the field? Yes, we do see archers.
Yeah, so we do have the bomb archer here from Myriad, and they will deal with the spearmen here just fine. SAS now also reaching the fuel age, and they just killed the villager here. Okay, cool.
Wait, the spears killed the villager next to the dock?
Not the spears. The horsemen did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Poor
But
spearmen.
I wonder when did SAS kill an echo unit?
Maybe it was I suppose it was a fishing boat. I believe it was.
Oh no, it was the villager next to the dock, or?
No, he did pull that, so there was no villager here. I don't think that he... I don't know, it must have been the fishing boat, but I'm not actually sure, so...
Okay. Anyhow, we do see spears, 6 on the field, horsemen getting added by SAS as well, against the horseman archer, and... I mean, it's 4 archers. Only 2 horsemen in queue, so for now, SAS will have some issues with the army comp Myriad has on the field, but his movement is kind of smart. He is not withdrawing with the spears around the small forest there into the base, but to the stairs first, further away from the base, to keep those spears alive. And those are smart, small decisions inside the game. Most people would have run around the forest there, small forest, to save those spears into the base, but then they most likely would have died against the archers there, or just took some damage. You fully alive.
Basically sacrifice 1 or 2 spearmen, but the way SAS played it, he was able to save all of them, and yes, they were not like immediately available in any fight, but since there was no fight happening anyway, it didn't matter. So very smart move here by SAS, and yeah, I mean, clearly, obviously showing that he is no slacker in this game, and he is intent to win this. I mean, we're game 4 in his best of 5. He is behind 1 point, so Myriad just needs to win this one, and then he won the series. But SAS is definitely not out here, and with a little bit of luck and a little bit of microing, he may be able to, yeah, flip the favors in his, well, whatever, flip it in his position, whatever it is, in his favors. Nake as well on the field here, so a little bit of a messy fight here, and SAS will have to retreat for now. That's not something that he can really deal with. At the same time, we do have a galley coming up here as well, so that's a good defense on this little pond of his. And where's the prelate when you need him? Because we can heal him up. Where is that prelate? By the way, we do have the minework palace. I didn't really. Oh, there it is. There's the prelate.
I mean, minework. I see the especially because of Myriad's army comp in the beginning, I see why he went for mine work, especially because of the all pike technology, because horseman, archer against spear who gain advantage by all pike, and horsemen who gain advantage by all pike makes totally sense. Definitely totally sense. And we do see that SAS could pick 2 gold villagers. Not only at least because of the tech, maybe. If not, if he would not have the tech, maybe all villager, or at least only 1 villager would have died there, or yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that
on
really
the
adds
other,
up.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
On the other hand, action is everywhere. Also, Myriad get another villager pick here, and yeah, it's a very action-packed game, and this is a disadvantage, kind of disadvantage thing of the mine work in this situation, because HRE chapel next to the wood line, it's an insane echo boost for the wood echo and kind of farm transition. Without chapel, HRE feels always a little bit like a whole defensive sometimes.
Yeah. No, that is true. That definitely feels like a different civ, and it's how to say that? It's basically you sacrifice the strong eco that you would have otherwise for the tempo and the momentum that you have, which I think is the right call against Macedonians, because if you don't have that, and if all of these horsemen would do 10 damage instead of 12, then it would just be a whole different dynamic, and it would be a little bit more difficult to keep up with the Macedonians if they're just fully sending it. If you would know, for example, that Myriad will just go fast castle, like maybe even Grand Winery into fast castle, then I think the Aachen Chapel would have been a much better choice. But given the dynamic that you can expect from Myriad and on this map, I think the mine work is just the more sensible choice.
I see. So yeah. What about silver techs? Myriad did not click or used any. Clicked one just a couple seconds before. Will end in the next 15 seconds. Then he has his first blacksmith tech. Kinda blacksmith tech. Meanwhile, SAS is completely and fully teched by all these feudal techs he could click on in the mine work. Palace, so military wise, and according to technologies, SAS is quite a bit ahead, but we have seven man-at-arms on the field already, and military count is 19 to 40. 30 to 43. And here again, this time Myriad did a nice villager save using the stealth force for moving the villager into safetyness, even though there is no scout in the army of SAS horsemen right here, but interception is coming in, and how is Myriad here reacting? He is withdrawing with his horsemen there. Also, the fact that in this situation, SAS, pretty sure he decided to fight these horsemen, not because he wants to block them, because he because his spear part was not in position, just because to save his villager there. Otherwise, if he would have run too far away, those horsemen could dive onto the villager, and that means more echo damage. Speaking of echo damage, echo kills.
Yeah, we have more horsemen raids coming in here from the north. SAS trickling in 2 by 2, the horsemen, and again with the all pikes, it really does make a difference here. And so yeah, really effective raids here. And Myriad struggling a little bit. He is getting closer to Castle Age, but SAS is getting closer to Castle Age faster. And I'm not sure if you're facing this kind of army here. It's a very solid tri-comp by SAS. Burgrave Palace coming in. Love that choice. Gonna have some additional barracks in a sense. I mean, I also would have liked the Arachnids, but that is just a different dynamic again. Now you know that he's gonna, yeah, put the pedal to the metal, and he's just gonna full send it with the Burgrave Palace. That's the plan here. A Golden Horn Tower also being dropped. Solid position here. I mean, the gold here is still mainly intact. Also saving the stone here, protecting the stone. But yeah, Burgrave is in. I'm gonna see mass men-at-arms. We have 3 already on the field.
Not only the Golden Horn Tower is protecting the gold here in the top, but also this end triangle into Myriad's base. I mean, he could drop it also next to the other gold and kind of protect the wood line, but the angle. This is most likely the way where SAS wanna push into the base, I would expect, and on the other side you easily could wall the bottom part easier than these top parts.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely. I mean, walls is one thing that we haven't really seen this game so far. Both players now Castle Age. Myriad has quite a lot of spearmen. He does have a lot of men-at-arms as well. And with the crossbows that he'll get for free from the Golden Horn Tower, I'm not sure if knights or men-at-arms from SAS will be the best choice in a sense. I think horseman is still his best friend in this game, kind of. But at the same time, relics being picked up as well. Mainly from SAS right now. I don't think that, yeah, Myriad right now doesn't have the state of mind to bother with the relics. Plus, it's not the most like. Let's put it this way: if HRE would have gone Arachnids, I think it would be a lot more important to defend the relics. Since there's no Arachnids, it's like, it would be nice, but if not, then not.
Yes, I see the point. Definitely, that's true in the way that Arachnids damage way more, but having 0 or just 2, it's just a difference. I mean,
yeah. No, it absolutely is. I'm just saying that. Against HRE with Order of the Dragon with Arachnids, I think it's more or less like priority number 1. Against HRE without that, it's like, if I can get 2, I'm happy, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see how that unfolds. There's a demo ship here even. Oh, needs to be careful. Myriad needs to be really careful here not to get too close to this one. Because that certainly doesn't just want to play. And at the same time, let's take a quick look here at the raid here. Oh my goodness, let's switch that. How many? Okay, we went for like 7 villager kills. Just with like what, 2 spearmen? Oh my goodness, that was brutal. Very well done by SAS, doing a lot of eco damage here. 16 villager kills so far. Some of them probably were just fishing boats as well, but yeah, that demo just wants to talk. I don't think it just wants to talk. I think it wants to, you know, action speaks louder than words, so I think it wants to be a little bit more actively involved in that. Yeah, you see it already, you know, coming forward, being like, hey, come touch me, come, I dare you.
You see how SAS tries to pull Myriad into range of the demo ship. It's insane, but Myriad does not fall off the bait. But what's kind of an issue of for Myriad is SAS already 30 knights on the field. He keeps them alive quite good, and those are mine work knights. He used the tech for the unique tech. I don't remember the name, but the knights are kind of big now with +3/+3 range and melee defense. So numbers growing and might become an issue, but also Ridari's numbers growing, 16 on the field.
Yeah, and one thing I really wanted to point out is that the army value is pretty even, right? And the how many resources both players collected, pretty even. Myriad actually slightly ahead still, but Myriad is floating quite a lot of resources compared to SAS, and so he could actually have a lot more army if he wanted to. So it almost looks like he is thinking about going Imperial. If you're looking at the resources, and I don't think it would be the right call, but it kind of feels like he's like, oh, maybe I'm a little bit on the fence. Maybe I wanna go Imp. Maybe I do. And he's also defending the relics for the time being, so this one will still go over to SAS. So there's just one more relic that could be had by Myriad, so it will be at least 4-1.
So the issue going Imp here is food.
Yeah.
He does not have any farm at all, and I mean, okay, there's 1.2, 1.8, a full dog there or full pond there. Sure, there are some food resources still on the map, but this is not a farm transition, and normally you want to have a farm transition hitting Imp and not going for a farm transition shortly after you hit Imp.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I'm saying, like, it sounds, or like, it looks a little bit like he's on the fence there. I don't think it would be the right call, and I don't think he wants to do that, but nonetheless, he is still floating a lot of resources, and so he could still get more units on the field if he wanted to. There's still, I mean, that's 4, almost 5 more Ridari if he wants to, another 4 to 5 archers, so he could definitely have more if he wanted to. But yeah, absolutely, totally to your point, Turtus, that is a very scary looking army with 27 Ridari. And he will actually grab that relic? What a madman. That is, I mean, I did not expect SAS to not be able to take that relic, but somehow he managed to, yeah, have to move in that direction. And although maybe I'm speaking too soon, there's still a lot of knights here, and
yeah,
there's just one champion reader. I mean, it's not a champion, but like he's a champ. You know, he's trying his best, but yeah, that's not gonna be enough.
It's always interesting to see army positioning of players on this level, and to try to understand what's the what's popping out. Myriad says it's pop cap because of this. The demo ship did not come out at the pond, and now he's completely withdrawing there. So, ooh, kind of lucky.
Close. That could have been really ugly. Yeah.
I mean, on the other hand, the Ridaris were more positioned more away from the water, so don't know if the range would be enough. But don't talk too much about some demo ships. There's a big fight here now incoming, and kiting is on point by SAS. Knights still on the field, but Ridari still 26. These are a lot of Ridaris, and it feels like Myriad can finish the game here, or just do a big big military damage, but is it jinxed?
Well,
Myriad
maybe.
is withdrawing.
Like the thing is, there's still a lot of knights here, and SAS does have quite a good size of crossbows that he can deal with. He has a lot of spearmen as well, and so I think Myriad, he could have tried. Sorry, I just hit my mic. He could have tried to end the game just then and there, but it just poses the risk of, if it doesn't go your way, then it's gonna be the other way around, and then you lose the game. And so both players, they're kind of cautious here, trying to do damage, but at the same time, yeah, not to overextend. There's a couple spearmen in the mix here, so it's just difficult to snipe them out here a little bit. We do have some rune stones here. Well, it's outside the range. There you go, another rune stone, getting the buff here, and this is looking really good now for Myriad. The front line is shrinking though, but the archers are still there, the crossbows are still there, and so yeah, just focus the crossbows with the bow mother and the knights with these crossbows. And but I mean, I don't know, man. At the same time, the army value still is dead on the same for both players. They're not, they're not gifting them anything. This is not a free win for either player. They really have to work for it.
Absolutely, and I mean, SAS at least cannot leave it as a free win or something like this, because it's if he's not fighting like it's I don't know what, he will drop out of the tournament. So he needs to fight like it's his last fight. And yeah, it's a crazy game. It's backwards, forwards, but food-wise, Myriad is now eating both boards. Meanwhile, SAS is investing into a farm transition, and slowly but steadily now Myriad also is adding some farms. I would say Myriad is in a better food spot positioning here.
Yeah, I mean, overall, he has been leading the resource department for a little bit. He's slowly getting ahead in collected resources, so about 1,500, which really is a really damn close game right now still. And yeah, I think it comes down to, can SAS hold this position, because this deer pack is really important for his food eco. This gold patch is really important for his gold eco, and so if Myriad can break it right now here, and these are just regular outposts, they are not fortified, they are not improved by the relics, and so some villagers in the mix here as well. But where are all the Rita here? We have 21 on the field, but I don't see any here. There's just 9. Where are they? Where are the units? Where's the army when you need it?
That's the question mostly. I mean, this was a expansive fight, but a nice hold for SAS, not only because of the towers there, but also because of the towers there.
Yeah.
The archer ship did also some nice work there, especially on the archers to do some damage there, and that's unlucky. Myriad is losing, SAS is losing a relic to Myriad because he put the relic into the dock there in the top, and this was the relic they fought the whole time. Now it's 3 relics to 2 relics, and yeah, 83 echo units. 80 echo units to 82 echo units, and there are still 18 Rudaris on the field, 23, but no more knights. And looking the military count, SAS is about to die.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, what does he want to go do against 26 Rudaris?
I mean, to be fair, of course, SAS does have 22 crossbows, so that is quite a good amount of crossbows, and there's no siege on the field. And so Myriad will, if he's just running face first into the crossbows, he's gonna have a hard time. That's not gonna be fun for him. But at the same time, there's no real front line for SAS, and so it can be really, really rough to get the most out of these crossbow. That is for sure.
Well, but here's the issue. Well, you have 25 damage by a crossbow, -8, so let's say 20 damage. At least 10 to 12, 10 to 15 crossbows you need to one-shot one Redari. This is a long you are kiting a lot of to kill all these Redaris before reaching the base.
Yeah, especially we're talking like 36 Redari now, so that is quite a lot. We also have 26 bowmasters, so that's a lot of archers there. And we do have 2,500 silver, so we could even, you know, look for some more upgrades. Or we're just saving it for Imperial Age, because yeah, we're getting closer to being pop-capped, we're getting closer to what we need for the Imperial Age. And yeah, SAS is spending all of his resources. He's really trying to keep up, but just look at the resources. Now, like, it used to be dead even until like 55,000 resources gathered. And now Macedonian is at 74 and SAS at 68. So that is 6,000 resources more for Macedonians. And it's gonna grow and grow more. Also, is this Redari still alive? He was raiding for like a minute here.
Oh no, it's another one.
Oh, it's not. No. Okay, never mind.
It's not the same.
No.
Like 5 minutes before or something like this.
But we do have the foreign where is it? The foreign engineering company. There it is. So yeah, we're gonna see some nests of bees probably to deal with all the crossbows, and I think that is pretty much GG if that is going to happen.
It is. And not only because of its nets of bees, but also because SAS is kind of far away from Imperial Age. It feels like. I mean, sure, he could wait and save some resources, but at least 1.5 minutes he needs to have the food together. Also, 1 minute for the gold, and yeah, don't know. In this time, Myriad will have all the techs for Imperial units and just pushing in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, SAS will have to stop producing anything for at least a minute, and by that time Myriad is probably like almost pop-capped or has all the upgrades or both, and that is kind of rough. I don't think that Myriad wants to wait any longer, which is a shame because his Redari are still cast late, so I would at least wait for the Redari and the Bowmaster to get their upgrades in. But it probably doesn't really matter that much. He's still probably gonna hold that position and win. We have a Mangana coming in, so that might turn the tide here a little bit.
I never checked Redari's stats, but 350 health with 10 defense each is a bit disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, if you hated cataphracts, you now have a new nemesis basically. The Redari are so strong. It's not even funny anymore. Also, I mean they don't really have a charge, but they have their ranged attack that they can activate, so that's also kind of fun when you try to chase someone and they're just like 2 tiles in front of you. You just activate that and snipe them. A lot of going on here. There's a lone knight here trying to do some damage, some distraction. But yeah, the Redari now finally being elite, the Bowmaster finally being elite. I don't think that SAS can hold on for much longer. I mean, it is still an incredibly close game if we're looking at destroyed value. If you're looking at the army value, that is not really close, but villager kills was kind of close. But yeah, that's it for SAS, unfortunately for today, and Myriad winning this whole series 3-1. With Macedonian on Frozen Marshes, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Definitely not me, but GG.
Nope. Yeah. I just hope that the Reader get nerfed a little bit soon, hopefully, right? I mean,